Good morning, everyone, and happy Saturday. My name is Callie, and this is another weekend of clarinets, cats, and coffee. In today's video, I am going to share with you a super low maintenance but very effective way to prepare your reeds and work on your reeds. Okay, so before we get into that, I want to say thank you, patrons and channel members, for supporting my channel. If you guys like this content and you want to see it posted weekly, please become a member and a channel patron. Your support really means a lot, and it has really helped give me the motivation to keep this going for the past 3 years. So really appreciate you guys, and thank you for considering supporting me. All right, so to do this reed method, you need only a couple of things. One, you need sandpaper. Okay, this is used. Okay, don't look at that. But you need sandpaper. I really like the 600 grit sandpaper, but if you're kind of scared like I was the first time I tried doing this method, you can go finer. I think I started out with maybe like 1200 or whatever until I kind of got used to the technique. So start with this. And then grab your scissors and cut them into little strips like this. I think it's probably about as big as a reed actually, or my finger, or my thumb, I don't know, something like this. So I cut them in little strips like this, enough to fit in this little case thing that I have, and I just keep this in my clarinet case all the time. So you need sandpaper, you need cut up strips, then you also need a nice, durable, reliable piece of glass. I got this with my ATG system that Rittenauer did. And it's a nice, sturdy, awesome piece of glass. There's also, the Van Doren reed glass thing that you can get, whatever, as long as it is flat and hard. I've also used my desktop because the top of my desk is just a giant sheet of glass, so that also works. Okay, so that's it. Oh yeah, and you need reeds. Get yourself some reeds. Get brand new reeds. This works really well if you start this method from a brand new box of reeds that have never been played on. Okay, so we're gonna go over here to the desk and I'm gonna show you this amazing little trick. All right, so I have started playing B40 lyre again. You guys know I just get bored with the BD5 and I need something different. So my B40 lyre I think sounds pretty good with 3.5s. I like, I don't know, V12s, and I like these traditional ones. It just kind of depends on the day and my mood and whatever. So you open it up, and if you open it up and you feel the reed, it is probably pretty rough. And kind of like not smooth. So this method is going to seal the pores and make it super smooth and kind of help you break in your reed slowly over time. So take the reed, make sure it's nice and flat against the glass, and I might even just like hold it down with my thumb, first finger a little bit, so just to make sure that the reed actually like doesn't wiggle around, because I don't want to break the tip of the reed. And I do this very gently, enough to just make it smooth and seal the pores. And I'm a little afraid of the tip, making it, break. So like sometimes I'll even just raise it up a tiny bit and go like this, that part, like that. The back of the reed, you want to make sure that the tip is flat against the glass. So I hold it kind of like, kind of like that, so that the tip of the reed doesn't like break. So there we go. Lift it up just a tiny bit. And again, just smoothing out the back, sealing the pores. Some people do like, they get like really strong reeds. But I don't think that's really necessary if you already have a strength that you kind of like and you just want it to break in a little more reliably and just sound a little better. So I just do a little bit, enough to make it play well and live a long, happy life. And here we go. So it's nice and smooth. And yeah, the one I opened was a traditional, and I've even put the date on the back.
And this is a V12. I'm breaking in kind of like 2 boxes at the same time. Wow, that one's really dry. Yeah, I'm breaking in 2 boxes at the same time because I like both cuts. So let's test this out and see how it plays.
I'm wetting this down just like a tiny bit because I really don't want it to get all like waterlogged and stuff. And I'm really only going to play on it like a couple seconds. Like maybe, I don't know, 10 seconds. Maybe you can time me. Okay, so when I'm doing that, I try to also stay in the lower register of the instrument because I don't want this reed to die before it has even reached its prime, okay? So overplaying, I have learned, can kill a reed a lot faster. Okay, so now if I was doing a whole box, I would like just let that guy sit there and dry, and I would move on to the next one and do a little bit of sanding, a little bit of playing, a little bit of sanding, a little bit of playing until I went through the whole box. Then I would go back to the first one and I would do like even less sanding and then play on it twice as long and then do that for the rest of them. And then I would do it again, and at this point I have a good idea of which ones already are starting to feel good and which ones need a little bit more sanding. So the ones that are feeling pretty good, I will just use like the back of the sandpaper to make sure that the reed itself stays like smooth and it doesn't start, the pores don't open up again. But the ones that are a little more difficult to play, I'll do a little more sanding still to keep, to soften them up a little bit and to also just help break them in a little more and keep the pores sealed. Okay, so this is really simple. It's not that hard to do. It's a really easy way to break in your reeds. Once I get the reeds up to maybe like 15 minutes of playing, then they're probably pretty good to be, put in my normal rotation and used for a gig or practicing or concerts or whatever. So before they're up to like 15 minutes, I will, just call them my baby reeds, and they're not ready to be out in the world practicing hours and hours a day yet, okay? I've also discovered that this method works pretty well for reeds that are kind of old, and when you play on them, if they're a little bit like stuffy and resistant, you can actually do this all sides, but the back of the reed where it gets warped, you can sand it a little bit more and kind of flatten out the back of the reed so it sits flat on the table of the mouthpiece. So I have found that really helpful. So let me know if you give this a try, and if you have any other reed sanding tips and tricks, please leave them in the comments below so we can all learn from each other. I hope that this will be a very easy way for some of you to prep your reeds and get a little bit more consistency out of them. I've been doing this method since October of last year, and have been trying it out and tweaking this method to see what works the best for me, and immediately it really helped give my reeds even more consistency than before. So yeah, I hope this works for you guys. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you have a good weekend, a nice week next week, and as always, happy practicing.